Anonymous. I am your favorite girl, Bo Vintage, and today's video is another story time. This is the second fight that I had with my sister literally years later. The first fight was when I was 15. The second fight was in 2014? 2013, 2014, whichever one. I guess 2013, like December. So let's get on into the story. Backstory. My mother was moving out of her townhouse. It was a rental unit. She was leaving the house to meet and shoot her. My sister was having issues and she wanted or needed somewhere to stay. My mother had asked me if I was comfortable with her moving in with us, me and Shooter, because my mom was leaving the townhouse. Because of our past, our history, though I had forgiven her, I hadn't forgotten honey. And the fact that we fought before and I knew how she was or how she is, I wasn't really comfortable with her moving in with just me and Shooter. But at the same time, because she was my sister and it was like water under the bridge kind of, like, I just was like, okay, whatever, like, I'm not gonna like turn my back on my sister, you know what I mean? So she needed somewhere to stay. I was like, okay, she can stay with us, whatever, you know. If she's contributing, I don't see what the issue is, you know. It's not like she was coming to live for free, but whatever. I was hesitant, but I said to my mom, you know what, let her come. Yeah, she can come. So she moves in, everything's hunky-dory, and I get a phone call from my other sister basically telling me that she needs somewhere to stay too because she can't right now. And she had just had a child, so it would have been her and her baby. I was like, listen, there's already one person here that extra. You're gonna have the basement, it's not an issue, but I need you to understand that when rent is due, and we also have to pay for utilities. I don't have time for games. And she's like, money's not an issue, definitely not. I just don't like my husband, so money's not an issue, and you know, rent will be paid, blah blah blah. I was like, cool. Mind you, my mom was moving out, but she wasn't taking her name off the lease. She was just gonna leave quietly and leave her name on the lease so there would be no issue. And that's exactly what she did. But that all changed really quickly. Because of this, because my mom was moving out, my boyfriend and I had paid first and last. And we basically covered first and last before anybody was even like coming or whatever. Everybody moves in, situation's fine. You don't really know people, especially adults, until you actually live with them. And my sisters and I, we had not lived together since we were younger. So I mean, the sister, the oldest sister, which is the one that the story is really about, she was way older than me. She's basically twice my age, and is it twice my age? Yeah, she's almost twice my age, or 15 years older than me, whatever. And the other sister is 3 years older than me. It just wasn't a normal living situation, which if you've ever had a roommate, then you understand. Even though they were my sisters, they were basically my roommates, and roommate situations don't usually work out, okay? So the neatest person in the house was definitely Shooter. Shooter was definitely the neatest person in the house. However, I'm usually confined to my room. We had a cat, and me and Shooter were the first people to move into the house. Me, Shooter, and our cat. We were the first three in the house, and then everybody else came after. So the house was ours. Essentially, it was ours. There was no question about that. Especially because we had been the ones that paid first and last to my mother. Now I'm just gonna fast forward to a couple weeks of living there. Nobody was doing chores. Like, grown people should not have to do chores. It was a thing like this. If me and Shooter ate at the same time every day. Me and Shooter would use the same plates. Like, so we would eat at nighttime in our room, and then the next day when we were eating is when we would bring our plates down, wash them, cook, put the food on the plate, and bring them back upstairs. So we essentially never had dishes in the sink. The dishes were between them two, my two sisters. The garbage was pretty much communal, so once it got full, somebody would have to take it out, but it's like everybody was just ignoring the garbage. And same with the recycling and just little petty shit, okay? But for some reason, I was being blamed for everything. Like, they were blaming, well, the oldest sister was blaming me for everything, saying that I don't help around the house, I don't do this, I don't do that, I just prance around in my underwear all day and do my makeup. Like, it was stupid as fuck, okay? That's basically what was going on before the big blowout. So let me just fast forward to that, okay? That's the backstory. Here's the tea. One morning, no, one night, I had baked cupcakes. When I bake cupcakes, my cupcakes are fire flames, okay? Them motherfuckers don't last too long. I made 24 cupcakes, and I was expecting for them to be gone by the next day because my sister that was in the basement, she actually had a friend over, and yeah, like, her friend was over, so I really just was not expecting, with the amount of people in the house and the cupcakes as a snack, like, I really wasn't thinking they would last too long. They were definitely not going to last more than 24 hours. So usually when I bake, I just leave everything on top of the stove. Like, not the mixing bowl and stuff, just the cupcakes tray with the cupcakes inside. That's what I did. Nothing abnormal about this. This is basically how the fight started over some fucking cupcakes, okay? My sister is like a chef slash baker or whatever, and the next day she woke up and I guess she needed to bake or cook or something, and the fact that my cupcake trays were on the stove was an issue. I was in my room trying to sleep. I didn't know nothing of it, but I was kind of woken up by her yelling. And I had, like I said, I had a cat, and the cat was in my room. But like, the cat owns the house. Like, honestly, if the cat wants to be outside of my room, it can be, because it's a tenant just like everybody else. So once my cat doesn't want to be in the room anymore, it will just keep meowing and meowing and meowing until you open the door for it. Like, it wasn't one of them cats that opened the door. He's lazy as fuck. So I would literally have to get out of the bed, open the door for the cat, and let the cat roam the house. He didn't go in anybody's room. He just went where he was allowed to go. I was upstairs in my bed trying to take a nap, and my sister was downstairs in the kitchen doing whatever. The cat must have came into the kitchen. She got pissed and, excuse me, she got pissed and brought the cat back upstairs, put it in my room, closed the door. I pretended like I wasn't awake, and once the cat started meowing again, I let the cat out of my room and let it go back downstairs, because why is the cat in my room if it doesn't want to be in my room? Like, it doesn't have to be confined to one space. So I let the cat out, and I hear my sister downstairs talking shit with my other sister about me, and complaining about the cat and blah 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 blah. The cat was there before y'all two bitches got there, so don't talk about my cat. Like, Kitty's staying where Kitty wants to stay, okay? And as you guys can see, this story about to be petty as fuck. Like, this is gonna be the most petty story you probably ever heard in your whole entire life. The cat ends up back in my room again. Why? Because my sister picked up the cat, brought it upstairs, dropped the cat in my room, and said, I don't want the cat downstairs, the cat's not allowed downstairs, blah blah blah. I was ignoring her. I wasn't paying her any mind until she said this. She was in my fucking doorway, cursing me out about the cupcakes being on the stove, and accused me of making her icing dry out. I said, first of all, I made my own icing. I didn't touch your icing. So if it's dried out, then maybe you should talk to the people that are in the basement, okay? Because I ain't had nothing to do with that. You ain't about to accuse me of something I did not do. At that point, now I'm up or whatever, she closes the door, goes back downstairs, she's cussing about me, talking shit about me, and again, the cat starts meowing. I lay back down in my bed because I'm really trying to take a nap right now. I end up opening the door and letting the cat out again. The cat goes downstairs, she sees the cat. Like, how did the cat get out again? My sister comes blazing, guns blazing up the fucking stairs, barges into my room and throws the fucking cupcakes at me, okay? The cupcakes that I had on the fucking stove. Like, she was so mad. Like, bitch was mad as hell. Threw the cupcakes at me while I'm laying in my bed. I was just like, is this real life right now? Like, why is there some cafeteria Mean Girls food fight in my room? Why? Some Lizzie McGuire shit. Like, why? I just sit up, I look at her, she's cursing me out, she goes back downstairs, grabs all the recycling cereal boxes, fucking pasta sauce jars and pasta sauce cans, fucking you know how raw meat comes on like a styrofoam and some saran wrap? Well, she brought that upstairs into my room too, threw everything in my room on the floor and talking about, you don't help do nothing around here, blah blah blah. Why the fuck should I? If I'm not creating the mess, I'm not cleaning it up. Like, she wasn't even sure what the hell she was yelling at me about, because she was yelling at me about one thing and then another thing and then the next thing and saying outlandish shit. Like, choose something and fucking stick to it, because at this point it's like you don't even know why you're mad. So she's cursing me out or whatever, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I was so pissed, but I'm like, you know what, I'm not dealing with this right now. So I call my mom and I'm like, Mom, hello mom, listen, because every time something pops off, I know somebody always calls you, and I'm the only one that doesn't call you when there's some shit going on between one and me and my sister or whatever. Because the reason I don't call my mom is because I just feel like everybody's adult, and like somebody's always trying to drag my mom into the middle of it, and like she's supposed to be like some problem solver. No, take it to the Lord in prayer, boo boo. Mom does not need to solve any problems for us. Like, we should be able to handle it ourselves. They always call to like snitch or something. It's fucking whack. So I called her and I'm just like, Mom, I don't want you to call her, I don't want you to say anything to her, I just need you to tell me what to do, because right now this is what's going on and I really don't know how to deal with it. Like, I can't deal. And she's just like, Bougie, just stay in your room. She's like, just stay in your room, just pray, just chill, just relax, don't say anything to her, just let her carry on how she's carrying on, and you know, hopefully it'll blow over. I said, okay Mom, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And that's exactly what your girl did. But the fight was not over, honey. The fight wasn't over. So, of course, she's still downstairs talking shit, all this shit, yelling upstairs, your man's gonna leave you, blah, 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 all this shit. Shooter's not home, mind you. I don't think she would be carrying on this way if Shooter was home. Shooter was at work. After I got off the phone with my mom, I'm just kicking it in my room on my laptop. I'm like chilling, okay? I go downstairs hours later, okay? Hours later, I think my mom had actually called me, and so I was on the phone with my mom before I went downstairs. I'm like, honestly, I've been in my room all day, I haven't even gone downstairs to eat, so I'm gonna go get something to eat now. I have pierogies, I'm gonna boil them, fry them up, and eat them. I'm on the phone with my mom. I got downstairs to find that all of the pots, all of the pans, all of the utensils, but maybe two, the cups, everything that my mother had left behind for us, because she left us behind like a pot set, everything that she had left behind for us was nowhere to be found. Want to know why? Because my sister thought she was Queen Petty. She thought that she was going to take the stuff and hide it in her room. Okay, how old are you? Why are we playing hide and seek? Like, come on, bitch. I was on the phone with my mom. I'm like, Mom, the only thing that's here is the pot that me and Shooter bought from Walmart before we moved back in. And so I ended up using that to make my food. But then I opened the cupboard to grab some seasoning, salt, some fucking paprika, cayenne pepper, black pepper. Like, I was trying to go into the cupboard to get seasoning, you guys. Fucking seasoning. And there was nothing in the fucking cupboard. She took the seasonings upstairs to her room, locked the door, locked them in her room too. So now not only were my pierogies fucking disgusting, but they were disgusting and unseasoned. So I was like, I'm still gonna try to eat these because bitch, I'm hungry as a motherfuck. And if y'all know me, y'all know I'm picky as hell. Like, I'm very picky when it comes to my food, okay? So I go in the fridge to take out my sour cream. I take out the sour cream. I'm still on the phone with my mom, and she basically just called me to see what was up, right? So I'm on the phone with her. I get my sour cream out the fridge. I get a spoon. I'm putting sour cream onto my plate. My sister comes downstairs, comes into the kitchen, looks at me in my face and says, "That's my spoon." What? 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 That's my spoon. Petty. Fucking petty. I said, Mom, hold on. I put my phone on the counter. I'm like, no, it's not. Mom left this here. It's not. She's like, that's my spoon. And I'm like, no, it's not. Mom left it here. Either way, I already used it. So, I mean, do what you will, boo-boo. I get out of her way. I go upstairs with my nasty ass pierogies. I tried to eat them. Could not swallow them. I'm like, Mom, I'll talk to you later. I'm eating. I call my other sister, the one that I'm really close with, and I'm just telling her the situation. We're dying laughing because we're like, this is actually crazy. Like, why is she so angry? I get on the phone with her now too, and let's just fast forward. Shooter comes home. I tell him everything that happened, blah blah blah. Let's fast forward to the next day, okay? So the next day, my sister comes in my room and asks me like nothing happened. She asked me so nicely. She's like, Belle, can I get the mailbox key? And I should have known it was a trap, okay? A fucking trap. She asked me for the mailbox key like nothing happened the day before. Like, we didn't argue. Like, she didn't try to tell me I can't use a fucking spoon at the kitchen sink. Like, and so I'm like, my keys are right there, you know, whatever. Not thinking nothing of it. And that's how, like, she thinks she's so smart. Like, ugh. So I let her take the mailbox key, except when she was taking the mailbox key, she took the key off of my key ring and left my keys. But why are you doing that if you're just gonna go check the mail and bring it right back? Mind you, I was the original person that lived in this house. Only me and my mother had ever lived in this house. There were 2 mailbox keys. My mom forgot to leave the other one, so I had a mailbox key, which I've had since I was, what, 16? And the other mailbox key, my mother still had it in her possession. So I had that mailbox key. That mailbox key was mine, okay? I've had it since I was 16. It was my fucking mailbox key. It wasn't nobody else's. It wasn't, no, just because they moved into the house, it was a communal key now. No, this was my key and my key only. Maybe an hour and a half had passed. She didn't bring the key back yet. The mailbox is right outside of the house. You don't have to go drive down the street, nothing like that. Like, the mailbox is right outside of the house. So an hour and a half passes. I'm like, she didn't bring me my key back. So I go and I knock on her door and I'm like, can I have my key, please? Not a big deal. Like, I didn't have no attitude. She didn't have an attitude. At least I didn't think. And I asked her for my key and she's like, you can have it when I'm done with it. I had actually opened her door and I was like, can I have my key? She's like, you can have it when I'm done with it. And I'm like, okay, well, I like to check the mail because I'm expecting something, so can I have my key? She's like, you can have it when I'm done with it. I'm like, you came to get my key over an hour ago. There's no reason for you to be freaking keeping my key hostage. Like, why are you harboring the key? And she's just like, I said what I said, basically. She gave me a I said what I said type answer, okay? So I leave her room. I go to my room to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do now, because again, she wants to pick a fight with me. And this wasn't a thing where this was my key. As petty as that is, it was my fucking key, but it was petty for her to be trying to steal the key. Like, what? What? A mailbox key? Where did they do that at? I decided that I'm going to go back and ask her for it again, because at the end of the day, it's my property. Like, I shouldn't even have to fight nobody for it. But if it's a war you want, then it's a war you gon' get, okay? So this time I go back and her door is actually locked, so I can't open the door this time. But it was actually a bathroom lock, or a bathroom doorknob that was on her door. So it was just, you know, you could push a pin or something in it and it would unlock the door and I could go in and get my shit. So that's basically what I did. I opened the door and I said, I asked you for my key. It does not belong to you. Can I please have my key? She wanted to stare at the TV like I wasn't standing in her doorway. Like, the TV was directly where the camera is, okay? I'm standing over on this angle through there, through the door, okay? And she kept her head straight and looked right at the TV like I wasn't talking to her. Watching the news. She ignored me. I'm like, can I have my key, please? She's there turning up the volume of the TV. She's She turned up the volume of the fucking TV. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. She had like this acrylic box, a clear acrylic box of costume jewelry. It had like a roll of toilet paper in it and like a pair of scissors. So I picked it up as I'm walking out of her room and I said, okay, collateral, you'll get this back when I get my key. I closed her door and I went into my room. I put it underneath. So I put the acrylic box underneath my bed. 25 seconds later, literally 25 seconds later, it was probably 15 seconds to be honest, she hops up out of her bed, busts open her room door, and she's like to my other sister that was downstairs, you better get upstairs right now because it's not gonna be pretty in here today. Bitch, yes it is. So I was in my room. She comes in my room, barges open my door. She's like, where is it? Give me my box. Give me my box. And I'm like, give me my key. What? How are you going to ask me for your box when you ain't give me my key back yet? And she just like, I'm not playing with you. She starts tearing my room apart, okay? And of course, again, Shooter's not home. If Shooter was home, I would have had him deal with that ass real quick. Like, ooh. She's tearing my room apart, you guys. I had an antique dresser. She's there ripping the drawers out of my dresser. Ripping the drawers out of my fucking dresser. Throwing them on the ground upside down. My clothes, my makeup, everything that was in the dresser was now on the floor. The drawers were turned upside down on the floor, okay? She's there taking my laundry bin with dirty laundry in it, flipping it over, mixing it with the clean laundry that was in the drawers basically. I didn't know what was what at this point. And then she goes over to my bed and starts trying to flip my mattress over. My sister's like, calm down, like what is going on, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, look, she has my key. I want my key back. I have something that belongs to her. She clearly wants it back. So I think the best thing for both of us to do would just be to have a fair exchange. And she was just like, She's like, you think things are gonna go your way all the time, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, what does this have to do with? This has nothing to do with my way or your way. It's you have my shit, I have yours. So let's figure this out. Like, what you want to do? What you want to get into? And of course, she's just like, no, 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 no. You're not getting your key back until blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well then you're not getting your box back. End of story. She trashes my room, okay? And she ends up coming over to the bed. And I'm sitting on the bed. I totally forgot about this. I'm sitting on the bed and she's there trying to like in my face. So I stand up and I look her in her fucking eyes and I'm like, what? What? Because this time I'm like ready. Like the last fight that we got into, bitch, I wasn't ready. Like I was 15. Yeah, like I got time today, boo boo. Like I really didn't care. I didn't care if she was 1,000 pounds and I was only 4. Bitch, I was gonna fight this bitch today. I was like, this is what you want. Like you're not gonna bully me. And I think that's probably why she didn't really want to fight, because she wasn't expecting me to stand up and look her in her face like, what's good? So so I look in her face. She's there. She's like, you think I'm gonna hit you? You think I'm gonna hit you? She goes and reaches for my laptop. She picks up my laptop. I'm like, yo, put my laptop down. I'm like, yo, put my laptop down. Put it down. She's like, oh my god, I'm gonna sound so Toronto in this video. It's not even funny. She's like, she's not gonna put my laptop down. She starts walking towards the door like she was about to leave with my laptop and lock it in her room too, like she locked the pots and the spices. But I'm like, oh hell fucking no. So I'm about to walk up behind her. My sister's basically trying to stand in between us now. So the bigger sister is in the front, is in my doorway, and the other sister is in the middle, in between the doorway and me and the sister. That sounds confusing as hell. The point is, there was somebody in between us. So my sister's holding up the laptop. I wish I had like a, I'm gonna use this as a laptop, okay? This is a little palette. She was holding up my laptop like this, about to smash it on my dresser. I said, that's Shooter's. I fucking dare you. He'll fix you when he comes home, but try your best. She was like this, and she's like, acting like she's gonna do it. Bitch, do it. Like, what you acting for? Like, just do it. So she ends up actually throwing it across the fucking room. The laptop to this day is still broken because of that. Like, the motherboard is exposed on the laptop, but it works fine, so I ain't gonna get rid of it because it's my baby. But this is a $1,000 laptop. Like, you're not going to damage my property and get away with it. Anyway, what happened was I was trying to leave the room to go back into her room to damage it because I was so pissed. I didn't know what else to do. Like, the room, she had damaged my room so much that I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm gonna just go screw up her room because it's really not going down like that. But she was standing in the doorway. When I tried to leave, she tried to push me back into the room. I ended up punching her in her face, and then after I punched her in her face is when she pushed me and fucking I landed in the closet. Bitch, I was R. Kelly. Like, why was I in the closet? So she pushed me into the fucking closet, broke my fucking nail. I'm there. I remember at the time, like, I don't know if the video is still on my Instagram, but I had posted a video basically showing my nail and saying that I don't fight bitches that can't pay me back to fix my nail. Like, she owes me $5. Like, to this day, she owes me $5 to fix my broken nail. I don't even care. Like, really and truly, okay? So, yeah, she ended up breaking my nail, but, like, I punched her in her face and she didn't hit me back. She just pushed me into the fucking closet. So, my sister's like, I can't deal with this. My other sister, she's like, I can't deal with this. I have a fucking kid, blah, blah, blah. I don't have time for this. You guys are nuts, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bitch, I'm not the crazy one. I'm not the one that tried to fucking hoop a key. Like, why are you taking my key? Like, what? So yeah, I'm there telling her, you know, I'm like, I threatened her with the police. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call the police on your ass. Bitch scurried out my room so fast. Like, she afraid of the people them. She don't like when the people them come for her. That's like the only people she's afraid of. Like, the only people. I had to threaten her with the damn popo to get her to leave my room. Like, she would have actually teared the paint off the walls if she could. Like, she was so mad. Anyway, so after all this, she finally leaves my room. I call my mom. I'm like, Mom, this is what's going on now, because there's no reason for this fight to even exist. Now it's stretched to day 2 and I'm really not having it. Like, this is what happened, this is what's going to happen, and I don't need you to say anything to her or nothing. She's like, no, I have to say something now. So basically, I don't know if she ended up calling my mom or my mom ended up calling her. Either way, they were on the phone. But because my mom had known about the stuff that was happening already, she wasn't about to take her side. She didn't really, I told her, don't take anybody's side, but like, because of everything that was going on, she had no choice but to side with me because I didn't start the fight and the key was mine. There was no reason for her to have the key. Like, it was just stupid. It was petty and fucking dumb. She hid the spices in the fucking pots. Why would my mom side with her? Why? There's no reason to. So she ended up siding with me. So yeah, she was there cursing out, telling my mom this, that, and the third, and my mom's like, but you cannot act like that. Like, you can't be carrying on like this, blah, 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 and whatever. Okay, so fast forward, Shooter comes home. Shooter's like, what the fuck? Because the room was destroyed. He's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Anyway, we cleaned up the room and moved the fuck on, okay? What's funny is she was actually staying at my other sister's house before, the one that lived a couple doors down, but ended up having a problem with them. They called the police on her ass too. Everybody just called the police on her because she's just wilding. Basically, my mom was like, you know what? Y'all can't live like adults. Y'all can't do this, right? So I'm going to remove my name from the lease and you guys can figure it out. What ended up happening was she's like, I'm coming there. I'll be there at 7 o'clock. I can't do this. You guys are being crazy. So you guys are going to have to figure this one out on your own. So I said, okay, that's fine. Like, I had no problem with that. My sister found out that my mom was coming and made sure to leave. She did not want to encounter my mom. She did not want to see my mom. She did not want to hear what my mom had to say. She ran away like a little 12-year-old girl. Like, it was ridiculous. My mom was basically coming to give us all paper that in writing said that she was leaving the unit to me and Shooter. And I guess my sister didn't want that problem, or she didn't want to see my mom, and she didn't want my mom to tell her about herself, so she ran away. She literally left like 10 minutes before my mom got there. So my mom gets there, she gives us the paper, she drops one off at the co-op and lets them know that she's taking her name off the lease and blah, 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 blah. That's basically the end of the day 2, the end of the second fight. Mind you, the utilities were in my sister's name, but the house was in my name. We were all supposed to collectively just pay everything. Between the four of us, it was dirt cheap. Like, there would have been no reason for anybody to not be able to pay. There was just, you know, whatever. So we were supposed to pay my sister for the utilities. And we never ever once told her we're not gonna pay. We never ever, like, what are you talking about? Like, we need water. Like, we need, these are necessities. Like, there's no reason for us to not pay. But she was trying to say, like, we weren't gonna pay that. I was just like, what? We live here. Why wouldn't we pay that? Anyway, that was in her name. The house was in my name. My sister in the basement kept making excuses why she can't pay rent. And I'm like, look, I don't have time for this. If you can't pay, you can't stay, okay? Anyway, my sister ended up disappearing for like 2 days, and that was basically the end of the month. She decided that she was gonna move somewhere else. Don't know where the hell she was going, but she said she was gonna move somewhere else, and she came back to get her stuff. She came with a moving truck to get her stuff. For some reason, she thought that she was gonna sneak up in this bitch and take everything, okay? Like, I promise, if she could take the light fixtures off the ceiling, she would. If she could take the fucking sockets to fucking plug shit into, she would take them too. Like, the socket plates, like, she really wanted to come home and leave us with nothing. Like, that episode of Fresh Prince when they come home and everything's gone out the fucking living room and he's talking about, we've been robbed. That fucking episode, that's basically what she wanted to do. So the day that she was moving out came. I was upstairs getting ready for the day, and she came inside and she started to get all her shit, okay? She started upstairs in her room. The movers are doing what they're doing. And then when it came to the living and dining area, actually my mother had left a dining table set and a china buffet, and she left like a side table in the kitchen, all the pots and the pans and utensils. She left curtains, basically just stuff for us to enjoy the house, okay? So she left behind a bunch of stuff for us to use at the house, not take it elsewhere, okay? And so so we were trying to, so she came in the house with the movers or whatever, and so I stood at the top of the stairs to see what exactly she was doing, because I know this girl. Like, I knew what she was going to try to do. So I'm standing at the top of the stairs and I see one of the movers pick up one of the dining chairs and try to take it outside and take it a little truck. So I said, sir, excuse me, sir, can you please not touch my chair? That is not hers. She's not leaving with that today. And he's like, well, she said that's hers. And I said, I don't care what she said. That is not her chair. She's not leaving with it. She's not leaving with that table. She's not leaving with the china buffet. She ain't got nowhere to put it. So, like, no, my mom didn't, you know, my mom said she could take the thing in the bathroom, the thing in the kitchen. She could take those, fine, cool. The other stuff she's supposed to leave. So she came and she tried to tell him, do not listen to her. She's not the one paying you. You put the stuff in the truck. I said, okay, well, unless you want to be accused of stealing, because at this point that's what it is, then I suggest that you leave my fucking chair right where it is. That's what I said to the mover. And she's just like, you think things are gonna go your way today, blah blah blah. And I'm like, they are. So I'm standing on the stairs now. She's in my face again, and I'm just like, this is kind of ridiculous. So this is what you can take. Mom said yes. This is what you can't take. Bo said no, like, you're not taking this. And we started arguing again. She started carrying on with her foolishness. Now she's just mad. Like, she's not even saying things that make sense. She's back to, your man's gonna leave you, your man's gonna leave you, you don't do nothing around here, blah blah blah. Like, I couldn't, like, blah, just all kind of foolishness. Okay. She was trying to tell me she feels sorry for Shooter. I'm like, bitch, sorry where? Like, how you gonna give relationship advice? How you gonna talk about somebody's relationship if yours didn't work out? Like, you were trying to make work for yourself, didn't work. So why would I apply it to my relationship? Anyway, at this point, this was the first time I actually clap back at her because I was upstairs on the stairs trying to tune her out again from the past 2 days that she's been tormenting me. So at this point now, they're getting at me. I'm like, she's trying to say that my man's gonna leave me. I'm like yours left you? What's good? Like, what you talking about? He's not going nowhere. Why is that even a conversation right now? Like, this is about the furniture downstairs. What?
You're yelling so loud, babe.
This is about the furniture. I'm passionate. This is about the furniture downstairs. What does she have to do with anything? And why are you mad? I'm like, you had 2 surgeries and you still fat. What's good? Like, don't come for me. Like, I was getting at her because I was just so freaking pissed. Like, I was so mad. I was so mad. I really couldn't hold it anymore because my mom had told me to just pray, you know, keep quiet and stay in my room, but it was at the point where I couldn't stay in my room. And this is the 3rd day of the fight. Like, why is this fight dragging out for 3 days? It's unnecessary. It's stupid. It's petty. Get your stuff and move out. Don't try to take things that don't belong to you. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been peaceful and quiet. Like, bitch was trying to take the microwave. Like, fuck out of here. My other sister actually ended up showing up. I think I was going out with her. We were going to the mall. And so she ends up showing up while all this is going on. She's like, I cannot deal right now, Bougie. Like, I can't deal. And I'm like, this is what I've been dealing with for 2 days now. It's stupid. Or 3 days. This is too much. I'm glad that she's leaving, but she's not leaving peacefully. So me and her arguing back and forth. She ends up coming up the stairs, and I don't know if the cat was in her room while she was trying to get the stuff out, but she ends up she's like, you see her fucking cat? You see her fucking cat? She's holding my cat by one fucking leg. One of the front arms of the cat, leg, whatever. One of the front legs of the cat, she's holding the cat over the banister of the stairs, and she fucking throws it down the stairs. Like, I can't even express, you guys, how mad I was. Like, this is, like, not my pussy. Like, don't touch my cat. Like, that was my baby. She held the cat by one arm, like this, and said, you see your fucking cat, and threw it over the stairs, or over the banister, down the fucking stairs. The poor fucking cat. Like, he didn't do nothing to nobody. Like, leave him out of this. That was basically the end of that. The movers didn't end up taking the dining set. On the table that my mom actually left behind, my sister had broken up fresh, brand new light bulbs and placed them on the table and used them to carve something into the table. She was so upset. Like, she damaged the table because she couldn't have it. It was actually ridiculous. But she managed to get the fucking curtains and everything else in between. If she could take the dust off the damn fucking ceiling fan, she would have in the damn kitchen. Like, I could not deal. She literally tried to take everything, you guys. So, whatever. Fast forward, she leaves and we don't speak for the longest time. Like, my other sister was still staying there, still not paying rent. The sister that moved out ended up calling the freaking hydro place and giving them my information to put on the bill, didn't pay the bill, and left us to pay for a $300 hydro bill. Nobody pitched except for me and Shooter. So me and Shooter paid the hydro bill that had a charge for like installation or whatever, or activation. We ended up paying that ourselves, and the rent was not paid when she left. She didn't pay first and last. And then the sister in the basement wasn't paying either, and she didn't help pay for the hydro or nothing. And they basically both left my ass to dry, like high and dry, bitch. So me and Shooter had to pay everything because it was, at the end of the day, it was our townhouse. We're not gonna lose our townhouse over some fuckery. Like, totally forgot to mention this. So I actually had a pair. Remember I told y'all how she always used to take my shoes and shit when I was 15? Well, I just have a lot of shoes, so if a pair went missing, I wouldn't really notice immediately. I had a pair of like 3/4 Timberlands that were suede, basically my winter boots. They had gone missing, but I didn't notice until about a week and a half after everything had gone on. So I asked my sister, I'm like, yo, did your friend take my shoes? Like, what kind of bitches you got coming in my house? Like, where did my shoes go? I wasn't even thinking that my sister has did something to them, because I felt like I had seen them since the incident happened, but I didn't, and this is why. So the shoes were missing. I was like, okay, I'm a loser. Like, I can't find my shoes. I'll hold the L, get another pair. 2 months later, so March came, and of course in March there's still a whole lot of snow on the ground. I was dog sitting, and I brought my dog, or the dog, into the backyard to let it put it on the leash and let it run around. So I bend over to, there's like a pick thing in the ground to like hold the leash down in the grass or whatever. I was going to like clip the leash onto it, and I look and like I see like a little piece of the shoe sticking out from the snow. And so I wasn't sure what it was, but I'm like, what the hell is that? So it was basically like forensic files when like shit's covered in like leaves or something, and they're like, oh, what is that? And it ends up being like a fucking toe or something, or like a human body. So I clear the snow off and find my fucking Timberlands dashed out in the snow, covered, damaged, in like, what, they're suede, like you can't just do that. So my sister, the one that was so mad, decided to take my shoes and throw them into the backyard to never be found. Like, I was relieved when I found them, but at the same time I was just like, there's no way that she did this. There's no way that she could be this petty. Why are my shoes buried in the snow? Why? But yeah, that is the eventful shit that happened with my sister. I ended up saying fuck both y'all. Didn't talk to them for the longest time. Like, I was hella pissed. I ended up talking to the one that was in the basement first because, you know, it was whatever, but I didn't talk to the other one since 2014 until literally my grandmother's funeral that I talked about in the Deadbeat Dad video. That's the funeral that I ended up speaking to her at, and the only reason that we ended up talking was because I was holding my mom's hand at the grave site and I was crying or whatever, and my mom was crying and I was hugging my mom, and my sister came up and started holding my hand, and that's when the beef ended. We didn't talk about anything, we didn't hash anything out, but that's just when the beef ended. It was silence. It is what it is. I don't grudge anybody. Like, I'm forgiving as frig. Like, I sometimes hate how forgiving I am, because it's like, people will do me dirty, but I'm quick to forgive them. I don't forget nothing, trust me, honey, I don't, but I forgive people very easily because there's just no point in me harboring ill feelings towards people, or like, you know what I mean? So I'm very forgiving in that sense, and so I even right now, there's no bad blood between us. At the end of the day, it is what it is. If you cross bougie, you might end up on a Storytime, okay? And get your business put out there on the internet. It just is what it is, okay? So don't cross me. It is what it is. People live and they learn, hopefully. But that's basically the story on the second fight between me and my sister. And none of my sisters could ever move in with me ever again. None of my sisters could ever borrow no money from me, except for maybe the one that I'm really close with. Like, and I wouldn't even ask her back for the money. Like, but when people that are close to you play you, it's like, who can I trust? Like, these are my sisters. Like, my sisters did this to me. So as much as I do forgive them, I ain't gonna forget shit, honey. And they ain't gonna forget shit either, and they gonna have to relive this shit now watching this video if they're watching. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Don't cross me. So now that I forgave y'all bitches, y'all can forgive me for posting this. It is what it is. I mean, if they didn't do this to me, then I wouldn't have a story to tell. So shout out to them. Okay, y'all are forgiven. I saw them the other day, both of them, and you know, one of them I had to shade the hell out of, but the other one, the one that I actually got into the fight with, I mean, we had a little bit of conversation. It was whatever. We're at my mom's house, so it is what it is. I love you all, and I will definitely see you in the next one.